Well, hey there, people. How's it going? What's it been? 7, 8, 9, or 10 years? Something like that, depending on when you guys have been subscribing and following me on this channel. I've been getting some comments and questions from some people. Where are you? What are you doing? Did you disappear? Are you dead? I am the complete opposite of dead. I am fully living, if you would like to know. I did feel today a little bit of like I owed an explanation, because I was doing the YouTube thing pretty consistently and was picking up a lot of momentum in that domain. And then all of a sudden, I disappeared. Right off the face of the earth. And, you know, I still, even though I'm not making metal anymore, or not making music, man, I think about it day in, day out. I really fucking miss it, guys. I really fucking miss it. This last week, I've been hitting up old people I used to play in the scene with and just checking in with them, you know, the new bands, the cool albums. There's, I kind of miss the community aspect of it, which is why I've been reaching out to them and sort of reminiscing inside of nostalgia. But I kind of wanted to explain to you guys what it is that I'm doing over here. Look at that. Look at that. You guys see, how do I get, okay, yeah. You see this? This is called the Cloud Forest. This is outside of Tarapoto, Peru, in the Amazonian jungle. I have been living here full-time since 2018. And back in 2016, 2017, I got a shamanic calling. And that period of time was very difficult because I got completely irrationally taken off of my feet by intuitively knowing that what I was doing, like, first let me explain something about the whole making music thing. I thought I wanted to be doing that full time. I thought that was my purpose in life. I thought that that's what if I lived in a vacuum and I was just doing that each day, every day, then I would be perfectly happy and I would just shatter into a bubble of bliss doing it. And in some ways that was true. In a lot of ways when I was doing it, I was getting validated in ways that were, in hindsight, not healthy for me. And what I mean by that is I would be getting praise on my talent, on my originality, on my creativity, at shows, online, but it satiated a part of my ego that was completely superficial and was looking for attention for the wrong reasons. And right around the time I started noticing that, in tandem with, the realizations about social media conditioning and all that fun stuff, I got my shamanic calling. And the only way I can describe how that was at this moment is I just felt this need to figure out how to... I never really had, at that point, any sort of belief in spirits, but I had some dreams and I had some experiences that just thrust me on a path of shamanism. I felt like I had to go down to the jungles of Peru and talk with seasoned masters and learn from them about how to manage spirits and plants to be able to help people. I all of a sudden had this kind of like late onset calling, and it was very disconcerting in many ways. I felt very isolated. It was not an easy time in life for me. Especially because I'm from Canada originally. And in Canada, if you go to a mental health professional and they do not have any sort of insight into spiritual subjects, spiritual topics, they will be very quick to want to prescribe you medications and convince you that you are living in a in a delusion of sorts. But there was something about that suggestion that made it seem all the more real, funny enough. So I came down here and I had a full-blown spiritual experience with ayahuasca that made certain things, put certain things in a context where it's like, now that I know, I can't unknow. I will never unknow. You could give me amnesia and I will still remember this. So I came here in 2018, full-time, moved all my shit. My family helped me, a couple duffel bags and suitcases full of everything that I own. And I came down here and I tried to start an ayahuasca center while I had an apprenticeship. The story of how all of that stuff came to be is very long and was full of a lot of trials and tribulations. Book-worthy, novel-worthy, movie-worthy tribulations that are just too long to get into in this video. I pretty much just wanted to say hi to you guys, and I just kind of wanted to let you know where I'm at. So I was pursuing an apprenticeship since about 2018, and then I was studying with my teacher Wheeler. Shout out to Wheeler. Wheeler is a fucking badass in the ayahuasca world, man. He is incredible. So like with doing the apprenticeship, you spend a lot of time in isolation, doing what are called dietas with the plants. It's basically like a process whereby you come into communion with the spirit of a plant. It has its own personality, it has its own teachings, it has its own medicine, and you have to isolate yourself socially. You have to eat very bland food so you're not stimulating any sort of your physical senses, so you become very skinny and you become very weak. But as that process endures, your psychological and emotional capacity, along with your spiritual capacities, expand. And that is where the entry for the spirits to come in and to kind of teach you on their own happens. So I've been doing that since 2018, very regularly. And so the way that I look at the world now is quite different from back in 2016, you know? Like I said, it's been a wild ride, man. I have some stories that would just blow people's fucking minds who aren't in this world. You talk to people who are in this world regularly, and it's kind of day to day, oh yeah, that happened to me once, or this and that. But I finished my apprenticeship with Wheeler. Your apprenticeship never really finishes. You're always learning. But I stopped working with Wheeler in about 2000, on the border of 2022. And since then, my girlfriend and I have opened a center called Down to Earth. I'll put a little link in the description for our website. And we've just been helping people one-on-one, man. I've been leading the ayahuasca ceremonies, giving people dietas, and helping with their physical, mental, emotional, spiritual problems. And we've had an amazing success rate, and it's really fulfilling. This is what I feel like I was put on this earth to do. Not necessarily in this style. I feel like potentially in the future, I may have to dig into more of my own roots, more of my own Germanic, my Indo-European roots of shamanic practice to expand, but this has given me a tremendous foundation upon which to work. I've healed people's back injuries from getting hit by cars. I've cured people's trauma. I've, done some other things that I don't really like gloating about my accomplishments or whatever, but the whole reason I'm talking about that kind of stuff is because of the enrichment in my soul that I feel from helping people in this regard. There is a paradox with it, however, because when I'm not doing it now, I face some depression because I don't really feel any utility in life, which is just something I'm gonna have to learn to deal with, But anyway, I just kind of wanted to let you guys know what it is that I'm doing. And if you feel the inclination to want to come down and visit, or if you feel the need to come down here to do some serious medical intervention that Western modalities just aren't helping, I actually work inside of a network where people who are more advanced, who are more skilled, people who have been doing it longer, I can hook you up with them. People who are trusted, people that I've sat with. I've done a lot of vetting in this world, man, and there is a lot of people who wear the right clothes and say the right things, but from the perspective of genuine, authentic practice, they are very misguided and they are more lost than a lot of the people they're treating. So in the years that I've been here, I have been witness to and subject to individuals and are able to see the results of what they say and then match what they do. And there's very few that I've found who speak and act in the same way. Of course, all shamanic practitioners of various sorts are regular human beings. They make mistakes, they hold grudges, they get territorial, they have regular human emotions because they are human. Anybody who convinces you that they're not human is probably not to be trusted. If they're wearing a flesh sack, let's say. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update as to where I am. I do feel very fulfilled. I love doing this fucking work, man. It brings me so much joy. It brings me so much gratitude. And I thank God every day that I get to be me. But in my selfish sort of, in my selfish rumination, I think, how could I make my life even more perfect? Which I'm well on the way to doing. I'm game planning as to how to be able to do this, but also to have the making of the metal on the side, because I wasn't really doing it for other people. I was doing it for me. I got a little bit of a little bit of a following, and my head got all big because of it, and I started kind of going down that route in the wrong way, with the wrong intentions, let's just say. But here I am, here I sit in front of you, somebody who is very happy and very fulfilled. And I'm just, why am I explaining this to you? What seems to be wanting to come through right now is that if you are struggling with something, if you're depressed, if you're feeling like life doesn't really have any meaning, find something you love and just go do it. Wasting all of the time running in the hamster wheel of pay your bills, pay your taxes, go to work, raise your kids, doesn't really afford the majority of us the time to kind of self-reflect and actually ask what this experience is all about. And what I've come to understand is that your goal, your purpose, is to experience the desires of your soul. What is that? For some people, it might be travel. For some people, it might be a particular job in a particular field. And for some people, it might be music. Just playing music, just as much as you can, vomiting it out like Devin Townsend. Ugh. Whatever it is, pursue it. Anyway.